God will put you in the right places at the right times to be a blessing to somebody. Tonight, I decided I went to Kroger and I picked up some items. And I forgot the items I went there to pick up. But right beside Kroger was a Dollar General. So I hit the Dollar General and I walk inside, and there's this old man at the counter. And he's asking them about hot meals. And the girls there are like, we got, the refrigerator aisle has food over there. You can look. But I could tell he wanted a hot meal. And I could also tell he was very much down on his luck. If I had to guess, he was probably in his mid-70s. He was a white male, mid-70s, very unput together, smelled like feces, And I got what I need to get. I just need to get some paper towels. And I went to leave, and I asked the girl, I said, what about this guy? I said, he strikes me as a VA patient. And she said, I don't know about that, but he's wanting something to eat. I said, well, he didn't have any money. And she goes, he's trying to find something. I put my stuff in the truck and I went back, and he was over there by the refrigerator aisle, and across from that they had like cereal stuff. And he's got 2 boxes of the cheapest cereal they have, the not the name brand stuff. And I said, sir, are you hungry? You need something to eat? And he looked at me. He said, can you pay for these? I said, yes, sir, I can. You need some milk. And he said, oh, I can't handle milk. And when he spoke, he had a lisp. He was like hair lip. So I was like, my Lord, this guy's probably been beat down his whole life. And it was kind of funny. So I've been through a lot of training dealing with people with mental health issues. So I immediately kind of shifted gears with him, and I kept suggesting things for him. And he would say, no, my stomach, my tummy. So I quickly picked up, okay, this ain't about he don't want it, it's just not his idea. So we walked around aisle to aisle, and when he would pick something, he would grab like 2 boxes of honey buns, and then he'd grab 2 boxes of I just let him do his thing. He said he wasn't going to have any money for 2 days. I'm going to be honest with you. That could be true or it couldn't. I could tell. I said, where do you live at? I said, are you going to the VA hospital? And he said, I went out there, but I didn't know anybody. And I'm like, okay. He's not answering my question. I said, you live in a city or you live in a county? He said, I live in the country. I live with my mama. I said, okay. And I could tell probably what's happened is he's lived with his mama his whole life, and she's probably passed away or been put in a home somewhere, and he's on his own. And but anyways, I tried to load him up with stuff that would fill his stomach. Crackers, peanut butter crackers, that kind of stuff. But he didn't want nothing to do with it. Everything in my tummy can't do that. He didn't want any milk with his cereal. He said, no, I water. I drink, he does water. So it was a very unique deal. I was really trying to load him up, and I suggested, lunch meats and bread, and he didn't want nothing to do with it. And I had to walk around with him until he figured out, hey, I could have sandwiches. And he grabbed some bread, and then I had to keep walking him by the meat aisle until he thought about, okay, I could eat ham. So it was very much a process and very time consuming with this guy. But he could not process a list. He told me, he said, I come in here, I don't know what I want. and he just was not capable of making a list or having that kind of responsibility. It was just too much on him. But anyways, I'm telling you all this not to, be braggadocious or toot my own horn. I'm just telling you that, man, pay attention to that stuff. There's a lot of people out here that, that smell bad. You don't want nothing to do with them. You can't, you want to get away from them. And then if the Holy Spirit tells you, you turn yourself around and you go be a blessing to that person. Guys, I don't know how to explain it any other way. but it's equivalent to giving an offering to a church for 10 years. It is a blessing that is unmatched. I love you guys, and I appreciate each and every one of you that support this page. I really do. You're opening doors. I don't know whether you know it or not. What you're invested in me is opening doors. But I appreciate it, guys. Love y'all.